presents The Bahamas Tonight. This portion of the news brought to you by BTC Every Day.
Key agenda items for the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in Malta this week expected to influence the Bahamas' position on critical issues impacting our country. All of this as global security is already an issue in Malta. Good evening, everyone. I'm Chris Saunders. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, shortly after touching down in Malta, Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Perry Christie, briefed the large Bahamian delegation in Malta, which includes 5 cabinet ministers. They're going to address major issues facing the country and our position on several international matters. Tonight, Clint Watson takes a look at what's priority for the Bahamas at CHOGM 2015.
It's more than just another international conference bringing together leaders from Commonwealth nations. According to Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Perry Christie, the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting here in Malta provides a major opportunity to network with other territories in hopes of gaining solutions and assistance to major issues facing the Bahamas. Issues like crime, migration, gender equality, climate change, and youth unemployment.
When I landed this morning, on the front page of the newspapers here in Malta was youth unemployment. And it was interesting to see that they have an employment, we have a national training agency, they have an employment and training corporation. And I was just saying to Minister Wilscombe, I'm going to be interested in their legislation to see what they do, because it's a challenge in our country, it's a challenge in the region, and again, it's another issue that I have been preaching on that we ignore to our peril.
On Wednesday morning, Mr. Christie will be the keynote speaker at a Commonwealth forum that's being organized by the business community. It's a major opportunity for the Bahamas to showcase its financial services sector.
I will give a description of our country, the challenges of our country, and why we are optimistic about our future. To strongly defend our position on financial services. It is a significant industry in our country. It provides an wonderful way of life for the people who work in it, and it's constantly threatened, and it's going to take us to be able to speak strongly for and on behalf of tax competition.
And with the recent acts of terror in Paris, security here is tight. Prior to the arrival of our delegation, there was a minor incident that caused there to be some form of evacuation that turned out to be nothing more than a mere bomb scare. However, security officials aren't taking any chances. They've heightened security.
We've seen for ourselves now how the world is rapidly changing, and how security now must be a conscious policy commitment on the part of all countries, and the Bahamas being no different.
It's obviously intense after the events in Paris, but this has become a function of modern day life. I don't think anybody's particularly disturbed about it. You just have to go through it. It's the new normal, and that's just the way it is. So it's certainly adequate. I think people want to feel safe and protected, and I think they do.
The Bahamian delegation is hoping to come home with many answers to issues that are particularly concerning to the Bahamian people. They feel by networking with major countries, they'll be able to form new partnerships and get innovative ideas that could help advance the Bahamas. In Malta, Clint Watson, ZNS Network News.
Debate continued in the House of Assembly last night on the electricity bill, the electricity rate reduction bond bill, and the Utilities Regulation and Competition Authority bill. All of these bills intended to reform the country's electricity sector. Minister of Housing and the Environment, the Honourable Kenred Dorset, said government is fulfilling its promises to lower the cost of electricity while addressing several details of the bills. Minister Dorset noted that the rate reduction bond bill will free up a lot of funding for environmental endeavours.
BC now will also have the additional financial resources it needs to deal with the environmental degradation that has happened, not just in New Providence at Clifton, but there are other family islands where we've had spills at plants that need to be remediated. And so a portion of the rate reduction bond will include that, so that once and for all we can address this calamity at Clifton, where you have oil going into the marine environment on a constant basis.
Opposition Member of Parliament for North Eleuthera, Theo Neely, questioned what impact the rate reduction fee coupled with the recently implemented value-added tax would really have on the electricity bills. He also noted that lower global oil prices have contributed to lower fuel prices.
On November 20th, just a few days ago, 2015, per barrel was $41.90. Additionally, when we look at, for comparative purposes, according to macrotrends.net, July 2008, for example, a barrel was as much as $145 per barrel, and today, or just a few days ago, down to $41.90 per barrel. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, the fuel surcharge should be lower, and it should continue to go lower.
Education Minister, the Honourable Jerome Fitzgerald, refuted claims made by Long Island MP Loretta Butler Turner, appearing in several media outlets, that a directive from him prevented her from receiving a presentation for a constituency from teachers at Claridge Primary School. Upon investigating the matter, Fitzgerald says he learned that the collection of the supplies for hurricane victims was an initiative of the Bahamas Union of Teachers, and acting president Zane Lightbourne confirmed that a presentation was never intended for Butler Turner, but a shop steward made independent plans. Fitzgerald says Lightbourne spoke with a reporter from Cable 12. That interview, though, was not used.
The reporters from the Nassau Guardian and Cable 12 have yet to clear up the facts or my name as it relates to the situation. This was solely a BUT initiative, and the presentation, from what I understand, was not sanctioned by BUT, and I understand it was an affront to the executives. Mr. Speaker, let the record reflect that this had nothing to do with the Ministry of Education, Science, and Technology, and we had already mobilized a hurricane relief drive in all the islands that were affected.
During member statements before the House of Assembly adjourned last night, Member of Parliament for Marcos City, Greg Moss, officially announced the formation of the United Democratic Party.
I'm pleased to advise that on Sunday, the 22nd of November, 2015, a group of Bahamian patriots gathered in the city of Freeport on the island of Grand Bahama and formed the United Democratic Party. I'm also pleased to announce that I was elected as leader of that party. A press release will be issued. A press release will be issued shortly regarding the executive committee, the party mission statement, the logos and colors, party convention, and the commitment to contest every seat in the Bahamas. Going forward, Mr. Speaker, when I speak in this House, I will be speaking as the leader of the United Democratic Party.
A little more than a week after news surfaced that the board of Cable and Wireless announced its sale to Liberty Global, Chief Executive Officer of BTC, Leon Williams, indicated the implications this acquisition could have on BTC. He pointed out that how the 2014 Cable and Wireless merger with Columbus Crossings left it competing with themselves in 6 overlapping countries. But with no assets in the Caribbean, Williams does not feel a similar situation would not pose a problem for Liberty Global if it were to purchase Cable and Wireless. Liberty Global is the world's largest international cable television company, with almost 27 million subscribers, receiving over 57 million distinct services that generates about $18 billion in revenue every year. And with negotiations still ongoing, Williams says it's too early to predict what this will mean for the 614 employees at BTC.
It's still in progress. The deal, my understanding is, it's sitting somewhere around about $5.5 billion. It's sold at an EBITDA multiple of 10.7. So work talks are still taking place. We should know better in 3 months where this would end up in the next 3 months.